Boaz, we have a question from Guy Shoham. In most cases, electric and acoustic guitars have truss rods in their necks. However, some luthiers choose not to include truss rods in their guitars. Boaz, do you build your guitars with or without truss rods? And what is the purpose of building a guitar without a truss rod? How can you achieve a perfect setup without a truss rod? Thank you, Boaz.
Well, there's many questions inside this one question. But I guess he's talking about adjustable truss rod.
I'm assuming so.
Yeah, if you're talking about electric guitars and acoustic, it's adjustable truss rod. Well, why they're using... First, we need to go back in history. It's not so... Because it was never adjustable truss rod all along history. You don't find a violin with a adjustable truss rod. Or viola, cello, lauta, oud. You see? Suddenly, even the classic guitar, which is a new instrument relatively, it's 150 years old, starting by Antonio de Torres. So, they didn't build with adjustable truss rod. Suddenly the electric guitar come, the industrial revolution start, and the adjustable truss rod appear. So what I think is that when you use materials that is not strong enough, and it start first people need to understand what the truss rod does. Imagine you have a neck, and there is string attached to it. So if the neck is not strong enough because you select cheap materials or you cut the wood wrong, flat zone, so now the neck, because of the pulley of the string, start bending and create arch that is not desired for this music instrument. So they came up with a solution of taking a screw, that the screw just, you can choose if to bend it this way the neck or to bend it this way the neck. And then you adjust it to the correct relief or straightness or whatever each luthier believe. And that's appear only on electric guitars in the industrial. And what I think it is just a lack of good materials. Because if not, why they don't use it on cellos? Why don't you use it on any other traditional instruments? Why? And I think it's because the materials are not strong enough, not selected well enough. See, if you take a tree, there's only 25% of it good for musical instruments. But what's happened if you want to use the 100% of it? So it's not good enough. It's still the wood, but it's not the good part in the wood. And we need the good part in the wood, not just maple. We need the correct grains direction and the correct strengths in the maple, not just maple. Yeah? So if you want to use just maple, it's going to bend. In order not to bend, you put adjustable truss rod. That's why I don't use truss rod on my guitars, because I do use the correct materials. Never a customer of mine complained that the neck moved, because it's dry properly. Not dry for 2 months in a kiln. Dry for 20 years, air dry. So it moved as much as it needed to move in the first 10, 15 years. Now it stopped moving. And now I'm using it. So I don't have movements. The opposite. I have people coming to my shop and saying, Boaz, do whatever it needs, make the neck stable. So the first thing I do is I lift, take off the frets, kick out the fingerboard.
You mean not your guitars? Some
others,
other
yeah.
guitars.
Yeah, and I take out the truss rod, put it in the truss rod cemetery, and put strength the necks artificially with a ebony or piece of hardwood, even metal if necessary, and then put back the fingerboard and yeah.
Can you show us a truss rod?
How it look?
Yeah.
Oh, I have many. I call it a cemetery because I don't know why I keep them. There's a few here. Different kinds, different types. Yeah. So what you see here is a screw that this part stuck in the end of the neck. This is in the other side, other place of the neck. And by turning the screw, you create a pressure that makes the neck going this way, or by releasing this way. Yeah. This one have also a channel. That the channel is the one who move up and move down. And look, oh, what's that? Really? No, I'm not trying to be, but it's ridiculous. They put it in the neck to move it and set it up. Now there is an optimal setup, of course. There is a point where the string have what he need in the neck. So now imagine you achieve that and you let it go. Because every guitar repair guy, he turned that screw till it's exactly where he wanted. Now imagine he just give the customer the guitar with exactly where it needs to be, but you cannot mess up with it. You don't turn a screw and play with it. Just it's gonna stay there and for good. How wonderful. Listen, we got to the moon. And in my car, the bumper falling. The bumper in my car falling. But we got to the moon. You cannot make a bumper that just stay there and doesn't fall. You understand? Just make a bumper that don't fall. No, so this is the truss rod, you need to mess up. Give a lot of job for repair guys. And I'm not gonna, but...
That's the same reason why your bumper falls.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. So now, how to achieve a setup? It's just basically you choose the neck, like I said before. You ask how to do it. Yeah, you choose materials that they are excellent, and you let the glue. When you glue the fingerboard, you let it get dry because humidity can create a change. And after a while, when it's dry and set up, you sand it straight. And if you want to give a relief, you sand it with the relief. And you prepare the fingerboard perfectly to your approach and your... because you find people that saying there is a desired relief. You find other luthiers that saying they want it in between that fret to that fret. And Ramirez used to fight from 12th fret to 19th fret. He used to tilt it down, because he claimed that the string have a big movement there. So everyone have his own theory, whatever right, but you just prepare it correct, you put the frets, and bingo. Yeah.
And you do it with your classical, and you do it with your kasha, and
I do it with all of my...
your acoustic.
All of them, they have no adjustable truss rod.
Electric guitars as well?
As well, yeah, why? Why? Where's the electric guitar? I don't know, it's strong enough, that's it. It doesn't go anywhere. You don't mess up with it. Take it and good luck. Don't come back. Don't go and start every 6 months. Think about it. Every 6 months you need to do a setup on your electric guitar. Think about it. That's, what is it, a car? It's just a piece of wood that you need to go and do setup and setup and setup. It's wrong. It's a wrong concept. You need to buy a guitar, go home, and that's it. Maybe after 15 years, change the frets. Like you change car tires. Yeah? You can do this every 6 months. Set up. It's crazy.
So basically, you set it up at the luthier level.
Exactly.
You hand it in, you hand it to the customer, and that's it. No setup required.
That's it. Yeah, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. Of course, if you use the same strings. Yeah? But that's the way to go. Yeah, I have customers around the world. No one complains that they need a setup. No. Look, we can make a mistake, and there can be, but in general, that's the way to go. No, setup. Look. Yeah, look. Check it out. Yeah, I don't know. It looked to me like a joke. Yeah. Also, it's a moving part inside your guitar. It can buzz. Yeah, it can buzz. So, and it's a new concept, and
so it's basically like like a factory industry type of like
Yeah.
mass production necessity.
yeah. Look, I work with a guitar factory, and I offer them not to do a truss rod. So at the first audition, they didn't do a truss rod. Everything was perfect. But then they said that people want it. They bring it out to a store, and the guy said, "Hey, where is the adjustable truss rod?" And they go, "Well," and they said, "Boaz, we need to put inside. We need to do it." I said, "But why?" He said, "Well, because that's what people want." So you see, it's a loop. It's a loop. But on my guitar, there's no truss rod,
So it's a complete misconception.
to my opinion. And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. If you can prove me.
Yeah, but you have no complaints with your
No, I
customers.
have no complaints. No complaints at all.
You must be right.
Well, you know, I just, this is my way. I don't know. I cannot say that other people are wrong or Big Factory is wrong. Also, we're used to something. You cannot, I don't know, you're not going to see Tzchak Pellerman or Maxim Vengerov coming up with a violin that is pink with shiny sprinkles on it. Yeah, so there's a way, there's things we used to, and that's, yeah, so people used to have a truss rod there, and they want to have a truss rod. Yeah.
Because they trust the rod.
Yeah, actually, I have one customer that he think his guitar should have a truss rod. Yeah, but it's the same customer asked me to make him a Martin style and to write on a Gibson. So you have, it's a big world. There's confusion, that's what I'm saying. And you cannot change, it takes time to change approach. Take time. I'm sure now people are going to watch this video, makers, and they're going to say, well, there is some logic in what Boaz is saying. There's some logic. But also can be people that are watching this video and saying, no, I want the truss rod because I want it. I just want the truss rod. Yeah, I don't know why. I want it because Fender Stratocaster have a truss rod. I want a truss rod. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, Boaz, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.